The fluorescent lights in the office bathroom seemed unusually harsh that morning as another wave of pain hit me. I gripped the edge of the sink trying to steady myself. My hands trembled as I reached for my medication bottle in my purse, only to remember it wasn't there. Mom had made sure of that. "You don't need these pills, Emma," she had said yesterday, dumping my entire prescription into the toilet. "It's all in your head. I'm doing this for your own good." I'm Emma Sullivan, 26, and I've lived with chronic pain from a rare autoimmune condition since I was 16. The medication wasn't just for pain. It kept my immune system from attacking my own body. But try explaining that to my mother, who had spent the last decade convinced I was either seeking attention or becoming addicted. My phone buzzed. Another message from her. "You'll thank me later. These doctors are just taking advantage of you. Remember how strong you used to be." Strong? I almost laughed. What she called strength was really me suffering in silence. The way she preferred, the way that made her comfortable. Suddenly, dizziness swept over me. The bathroom tiles seemed to swim before my eyes. I tried to sit down, but my legs wouldn't cooperate. The last thing I heard was my coworker Jessica's voice calling my name before everything went black. I woke to unfamiliar voices and the sharp smell of hospital antiseptic. A doctor was standing over me, her expression concerned but kind. "Miss Sullivan, I'm Dr. Martinez. You had a severe inflammatory response. Can you tell me why you stopped taking your medication?" Before I could answer, my mother's voice cut through the room. "She's been taking those pills for far too long." I had to intervene. "She's becoming dependent." Dr. Martinez turned to face her, eyes steady. "Mrs. Sullivan, your daughter's condition is well documented. Stopping these medications abruptly can be life-threatening." "Life-threatening?" Mom scoffed. "She's just being dramatic. She's always been like this since she was a teenager, always wanting attention." Dr. Martinez's expression darkened as she reviewed my chart. "Mrs. Sullivan, this isn't the first time your daughter's medication has been lost or discontinued without medical supervision. There are 3 similar incidents documented over the past 2 years." Mom's face flushed. "I'm her mother. I know what's best for her." "What's best?" My voice finally broke through, shaking but firm. "Like when you told my college nurse I was faking symptoms for exam extensions. Or when you convinced Dad not to add me to his health insurance because it would enable me." Dr. Martinez began typing into her tablet, her expression grave. "Emma, has anyone ever discussed medical advocacy with you, your rights as an adult patient?" Mom tried to step closer, but a nurse blocked her path. "I'm her mother. I have every right to be involved in her care." "Actually," Dr. Martinez said firmly, "you don't. And given what I'm seeing here, I'm obligated to report this as medical neglect and potential abuse." "Abuse?" Mom's voice rose to a shriek. "I'm protecting her. These doctors have convinced her she's sick when she just needs to be stronger." But I couldn't speak. Years of dismissed symptoms, of being told I was weak, of having my medication disappear whenever Mom decided I was too dependent. It all crashed down on me at once. "Mrs. Sullivan," Dr. Martinez's voice was cold now. "I'm going to have to ask you to step outside. Security will escort you to the waiting area while I contact the proper authorities." Mom's face went white. "You can't be serious. Emma, tell them they're overreacting. Tell them how dramatic you've always been about your health." I looked at her, really looked at her. The woman who had taught me to doubt my own body, who had made me feel guilty for needing care, who convinced me suffering in silence was noble. "No, Mom," I whispered. "I'm done letting you tell me how I feel." Security led her out as she protested. Over the next few days in the hospital, the truth unfolded. Dr. Martinez and a patient advocate named Diana helped me document years of interference. A social worker discussed legal protections. Detective Morris from the Domestic Abuse Unit took detailed statements. "Your mother's actions could have killed you," he said bluntly. "Stopping immunosuppressant medications abruptly, she's lucky you're still alive." My father arrived on the 3rd day looking older than I remembered. "Emma, honey," he said softly, "your mother means well. She's just old-fashioned about medicine. Maybe we can work this out as a family." I almost gave in to the familiar pull to minimize everything. But Dr. Martinez cut in. "Mr. Sullivan, your wife deliberately withheld necessary medication from your daughter. This isn't a family disagreement, it's medical abuse. Emma could have suffered organ failure. Dad paled. Organ failure? Yes, I said quietly. But I guess Mom told you I was just being dramatic again. Later my sister Olivia came. She looked furious at herself. I should have seen it, she admitted, gripping my hand. When Mom said she fixed your medication issues, I thought she meant helping you adjust doses with your doctor. I never imagined this. None of us wanted to see it, I told her. It was easier to believe her. With proper treatment, the pain began to subside. Diana arranged safeguards. My medications would be dispensed only with photo ID, my records were flagged, and my doctors were alerted about my mother's interference. The police investigation revealed more than I expected. Mom had called my doctors pretending to be me to cancel prescriptions. She'd even tried to access my medical records with my old ID. Detective Morris returned. Your mother is facing serious charges. Medical neglect, interference with prescribed treatment, and potential insurance fraud. Her behavior fits a clear pattern of abuse. Will she go to jail? I asked, unsure of how I felt. For the first time, though, I knew the answer didn't matter as much as this. Mom's control over my health was finally over. That depends on several factors, Detective Morris explained, but she'll definitely face consequences. More importantly, we're putting legal protections in place for you. My phone continued buzzing with messages from relatives. Some defended Mom, insisting I was overreacting. Others expressed horror at what she'd done. My Aunt Susan, a nurse, was particularly vocal in my defense. I always wondered why your symptoms seemed so unstable, she told me during a visit. Sarah kept saying you were managing without all those dangerous medications, but it never sat right with me. The hospital's legal team helped me file for a protective order. Mom would no longer be allowed to contact me or interfere with my care in any way. The thought of such a boundary both terrified and relieved me. Olivia, my sister, helped transfer my prescriptions to a new pharmacy with automatic deliveries. She won't be able to touch your medication again, Olivia promised. I'll make sure of it. As my discharge date approached, Dr. Martinez sat down with me. Her tone was firm but gentle. Emma, your condition is completely manageable with proper medication. The complications you've experienced were largely due to interrupted treatment. That stops now. He handed me a thick folder. This is your complete medical history, documented evidence of interference, and your new treatment plan. Keep a copy somewhere safe. Never let anyone make you doubt your medical needs again. Looking at that folder, proof that I wasn't crazy, wasn't faking, wasn't imagining things, I felt tears well in my eyes. Years of gaslighting had made me doubt my own body. But now I had validation, protection, and most importantly, control. You're going to be okay, Dr. Martinez said softly. But you need to stay strong. Your mother's behavior won't change overnight. Are you ready to maintain these boundaries? I thought about Mom, about her certainty that she knew best, about the years of damage her help had caused. Then I thought about how it felt to finally have proper treatment and to be taken seriously. Yes, I said firmly. I'm ready. 6 months after my hospitalization, I sat in my new apartment, reviewing a letter from the district attorney's office. Mom had accepted a plea deal, 3 years probation, mandatory counseling, and strict orders to stay away from my medical care. She wasn't going to jail, but for the first time she was facing real consequences. My phone buzzed with a text from Olivia. Mom's support group leader says she's still insisting she was saving you from medication dependency. I wasn't surprised. Her beliefs hadn't changed, but mine had. My new safeguards, security cameras, pharmacy protocols, legal protections, ensured she could never interfere again. My most recent checkup had been encouraging. This is how well your body responds when treatment is consistent, Dr. Martinez told me. Your inflammation markers are the lowest they've been in years. Even Dad was beginning to understand. He'd stopped urging reconciliation and admitted, I didn't protect you. I let her convince me she knew best, even when the truth was right in front of me. I'm sorry, Emma. The hardest part wasn't medical recovery or legal proceedings. It was dealing with relatives who thought I was cruel. She's crying all the time, my cousin Beth said. She just wants to explain her side. Her side. I replied. You mean how she nearly caused organ failure because she didn't believe in my medication? That side. Beth never brought it up again. My new job was different. After my collapse, I sought an employer that respected health. My supervisor, Mark, personally added my emergency contacts to HR records and notified security of my protective order. Your health comes first, he said. We'll work around your appointments. No questions asked. The support group Diana recommended helped too. Meeting others who had faced family interference made me feel less alone. They think they know better than doctors, one member Sarah shared. But really they just can't handle not being in control. 1 year later I got a call from Mom's counselor. Your mother has requested a mediated session. She's been working on understanding the impact of her actions. Would you be willing to participate? I discussed it with my therapist, Dr. Chin. You're stronger now, she reminded me. You can set the terms. The question is, what do you want? The mediation was held at the counselor's office. Mom looked smaller, less intimidating. Emma, she began, voice trembling, I've been learning about medical abuse, about how what I did wasn't help. It was control. I still don't understand all your medical needs, but I'm trying to accept that I don't have to understand to respect them. It wasn't a complete transformation. I could still see doubt in her eyes when she glanced at my medication bag, but it was something. I need you to understand, I said firmly, that you will never have access to my medical care again. If you want a relationship with me, those are the terms. She nodded, tears slipping down her face. My counselor says I have to accept your boundaries. Loving you means respecting your autonomy. It wasn't a miracle, but it was a start. 2 years later I'm thriving. My condition is stable, my care consistent. The protective orders have expired, but my boundaries remain firm. Mom and I have limited, careful contact. Always in public, never about my health. When Olivia had her first baby, Mom started to comment about the baby's medication. Before I could speak, Dad touched her arm. Sarah, he said gently, that's between the doctors and Olivia. Mom closed her mouth and changed the subject. It was a small moment, but it showed how much had changed. Dr. Martinez still checks in. At my last appointment she smiled. You're one of our success stories, not just medically but in taking control of your own care. Looking at my life now, stable health, strong boundaries, real autonomy, I realize the best treatment isn't just medication. It's learning to stand up to those who claim to know better about your own body. My medical ID bracelet reads, no unauthorized medication changes. It's not just a medical alert. It's a reminder that I am the only one who gets to decide about my health. And that's a prescription I'll never let anyone take away from me.